Thanks, Tom. Hi, my name's Chevy, and I'm back here with Burt. And I was just talking to Burt. We'll get a page. I was just talking to Burt about the film Deliverance. I was going to ask you if there was ever a part that you'd ever really lost yourself in, and it was my sense that that might have been it, because it's such a great role.
Yeah, I couldn't get a handle on the guy, and Borman gave me a book, the director gave me a book called Zen and the Art of Archery. And it really sort of, it was Zen, because we all should have drowned. Every day one of us almost drowned. But Ned Beatty, who hasn't recovered from the film yet, I did about 6 films with Ned, and about 5 years ago I said, Ned, it would be cathartic for you to go down the river again. I think you just get rid of all that stuff, you know, and I try to go down it every year just to see if I can. So we went up there.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. We went up there, and now it's called the Deliverance Syndrome. I mean, every hour on the hour there's a whole bunch of people going down, and the guide forgot that we were in the movie. You know, he was, right over here is where John Voight climbed the mountain, and we're saying, wait a minute, we were in the movie, you know, and we're riding along, and I thought, oh dear God, he's going to say something about, you know, about Ned, you know, and this is not going to be good. And so I sort of interrupted. I said, we're going to stop for lunch somewhere, and he said, yes, at Sodomy Creek.
Oh, poor Ned Beatty.
It's now called that. It's on the map. It's on the map, Sodomy Creek.
At Sodomy Creek?
That's what they call it.
That must be pleasant for Ned.
Ned got out and just paced around and had his head down.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know it, Ned Beatty kind of had to bend over and squeal like a pig.
Yes.
In the picture.
Yes, he did.
It's also part of the book.
Also, the guy that was the boogeree was not an actor.
Ned was the boogeree.
He was the booger. The guy.
Booger.
Yeah. Well, the guy that was the booger was a tree surgeon. I know that's very phallic or something, but anyway, he had never acted before, and my dark sense of humor, I thought this will be good because he was always staring at Ned, you know. And I went over to him, and I knew Ned could hear, and I said, how are you going to handle this rape scene? He said, I've always wanted to try that.
And Ned could hear.
And Ned went, John. It was absolutely frightening because the guy was going to.
Yeah.
And he did. Yeah. They had 4 cameras. They only shot it once because we couldn't get Ned to do it again. That was absolutely terrifying. And the other guy was a guy named Cowboy Coward. He had no front teeth. And I had worked in a ghost town, which is a place in Maggie Valley. We did 6 gunfights a day, and I got shot and fell off the roof and on a bunch of rocks and got paid $200 a week and said, this is great show business. And there was a guy in the show that played Pa Clampett, but he had no teeth and he stuttered, but he was a wonderful actor. And Borman said, I can't find a guy with no teeth. It was, I can find guys with teeth, but they won't pull them. And I find guys with no teeth, they can't act. I said, I know the guy. And so I called Maggie Valley and I said, do you know whatever happened to Cowboy Coward? They said, yeah, he's right here. He's doing Pa Clampett. I said, yeah, it's good. They said, well, we need him. Let me talk to him. And I said, come down to the Holiday Inn in Clayton, Georgia. I think there's a part for you in this movie. So I'm sitting there with John, and I forgot to tell John that he couldn't read. And a pickup truck pulled up with a whole parcel full of kids in the back, and this guy got out in bib overalls, no shirt, shoes, and no socks. And Borman said, did you tell him what to wear? I said, no. And he came in, and Borman said, here, just read this scene. He hands him a scene like this. And I thought, oh my God, he can't read. And I said, no, give me that, Cowboy. I said, we'll improvise. I'll just tell you the line, and then you just say the line any way you want. And the first line was, get over there against that tree and take your pants down. So a cowboy goes, get over there against that sapling and take your panties down. And John Borman said, you got the part. So he got up, and he was walking towards the door, and Borman said, hold it, wait a minute, I have to tell you something, Cowboy. I don't know how to say this. This is the part of a guy who rapes another man. And Cowboy went, oh, that's all right. I've done a lot worse things than that.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you.
Great. Burt Reynolds. Thank you. We'll be right back.
It's time now for news update with our anchor, Chevy Chase.
No. I don't like it in the kitchen. Let's do it in every other room in the house. Let's just go wild. All right, so who do I make the check out? Just Ace Carpeting? Okay, bye, honey. Good evening, I'm Chevy Chase. In the news tonight, the Clinton administration says it is no longer seeking Somali warlord Mohammed Farad Aidid's arrest. In fact, they say he's just won 2 tickets to the World Series, but he must come in person to pick them up. Bill Knutson, president of the Tailhook Association, gave a press conference on adult behavior at this year's convention. Midway through his speech, he found a sign taped to his back, and everyone had to stay late until the sailor who did it confessed. A lot of hissing. Today is Columbus Day. It's a postal holiday, and as the Postmaster General points out, Columbus has a lot in common with the average mailman. Columbus started off on a long mission, took forever to finish it, and ended up in the wrong address. This is a news program, ladies and gentlemen. We don't take sides. Meanwhile, thousands of students across the country celebrated the Columbus Day holiday. Columbus is still popular with most high school students because he also couldn't find India on the map. Be right with you. Oh, this just in. The city of Los Angeles is officially designated this week as Safety Awareness Week, and residents are urged to review ways in which to make their homes and workplace a little safer. You think this thing's burning fast enough? I'll wait. Yeah, okay. A surge in back-to-school spending sent retail sales up 5.6% in September. Strong sales figures were reported in school supplies, casual clothing, bullets, guns, and flak jackets. A new survey in the Replens report shows that 1,000 women asked... A new study in the survey of the... A new survey in the Replens report shows that 1,000 women asked... No, you're on the wrong story. Doctors now say there are 3 important ways to avoid the onset of coronary artery disease. The U.S. Forest Service agents confiscated over 10,000 illegal marijuana plants from Little Bear Canyon, California this week. Later, a small brush fire raged in the canyon as hundreds of firefighters looked on and giggled. In yet another real-life medical drama, a courageous Palo Alto girl had to cut off her own head with a pocket knife when it became lodged beneath a boulder during a camping trip last week. The girl then had to drive herself to a local hospital for treatment since she was unable to call for help. In entertainment news, the new movie Gettysburg enjoyed brisk ticket sales in its first week of release. The Civil War epic has been hailed by critics and historians alike, despite the fact that the film is just a tad longer than the battle itself. And our final note tonight, Montel Williams quit the Friars Club after Ted Danson wore blackface and made sexual jokes about Whoopi Goldberg during a roast at the club last week. Williams said he was appalled by this crude and tasteless public display. He then went to a studio for a taping of his show featuring big-breasted Nazi cheerleaders. And that's the news. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Tomorrow on the Chevy Chase Show, Lauren Holly, backwards talker David Fuhrer, singer Maria McKee. But stay tuned for Dan Fogelberg.
Caught him in the middle of his solo. My next guest has 7 platinum records to his credit, and here to sing Magic Every Moment from his latest CD, River of Soul, is Dan Fogelberg. Dan?
To a shattering sound, and I went downstairs and found these shards of glass strewn all around. There upon the floor I found this poor broken dove, and it made me realize how very fragile is this life that we so love. I came back up to bed and I held you so tight, and I prayed up to the Father, oh, I prayed with all my might, that He'd always keep you with me, that He'd always keep you safe. And when I went downstairs, I found that dove, and somehow I've been blown away. There's a magic every moment, there's a miracle each day. There's a magic every moment, oh, won't you let the music play, oh, won't you let the music play. When a long forgotten feeling came and took control of me. It was then the clouds burst open and the sun came pouring through. And when I hit those dancing waters in an instant, all eternity I knew. There's so much we take for granted, there's so much we never say. We get caught up in the motion of just living day to day. We are fettered to the future, we are prisoners of the past, and we never seem to notice till our lives are finally slipped right through our grasp. There's a magic every moment, there's a miracle each day. There's a magic every moment, oh, won't you let the music play, oh, won't you let the music play. In a single drop of dew, you can see that same forever if you look down deep inside of you. There's a spark of the Creator in every living thing. He respects me when I work, but He so loves me when I sing. There's a magic every moment, there's a miracle each day. There's a magic every moment, oh, won't you let the music play, oh, won't you let the music play. There's a magic every moment, there's a miracle each day. There's a magic every moment, oh, won't you let the music play, won't you let the music play.
Thanks.
The album's called Travelogue.
No, it's called River of Souls, but it came out like a travelogue. It was
Oh.
a bunch of...
Well, wait a minute. Excuse me.
Good
The
homework.
album's called River of Soul.
No, the album's called Travelogue. It came out as River of Souls.
It came out
You
like
know, if
River
I'd
of
known
Soul.
I was coming, I would have brought you a fish.
Don't be silly. I know you have one on you.
My wife keeps them
Your wife keeps fish?
Yeah.
In what sense?
in her purse.
In her purse.
In her purse.
You want to take this, Bert?
No.
Well, in what sense was it a travelogue?
Well, it's a
Dan?
bunch of diverse musical influences on this from all around the world. It wasn't something I really set out to do, but the songs kind of demanded different treatments. You know, one of them became a Brazilian piece, one of them became a New Orleans type groove, one became a Celtic number. So it's just like a different viewpoint, a different world perspective on each song.
You went to South Africa?
No, Paul Simon went to South Africa.
What was it like working with Artie?
With Artie, I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
You know, we tried to do the library benefit, but you know, some of those things, you know, there's too much water over the dam.
Yeah, too much water under the bridge or over the dam,
Too
yeah.
many fish in the purse.
So, do you ever see Stephen and Crosby,
Neil and
any of those
David?
guys?
No, we
Nash?
don't get along anymore.
Don't
either.
get along anymore?
No. It's a shame. That's that.
It is a shame, but I'm glad you're going out on your own. I mean, quite frankly, Bridge Over Troubled Water is one of your best.
Yeah, but how many times can you do that? I mean, you've got to move on to something
And also,
else.
it's
you know?
bad on the neck. What happened? Any mail for me? It's a pleasure to have you here. What's your name again?
Yeah.
Of course, we're just kidding, everybody. It is Dan Fogelberg, and I've been a fan of yours so many years. You've had a lot of platinum records, and I hope that you and Artie get back together again.
Well, we're working on it.
All right back. Okay, we're back. And, gee, it was nice to see Paul, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
We're back with Burt Reynolds, and he's just finished a film called Man from Left Field. And you have a clip, and I do want to see that clip because I want to know what it's about. So
Me
can we
too.
roll it? Yeah.
Don't you know anything about women?
I'm sure I did, but I think I forgot.
Come on, do you want me to do all the work? Just go and ask her out. Go.
Yeah, but
Go. Hey, make sure you don't tell her you know me.
For those people who don't know it, well, before I ask about your directing on Evening Shade, because I know you do every other episode, but the big thing to me is how you've managed to go from a #1 box office draw on film to the same thing in television. Is that, what's the difference to you? I mean, would you rather be
Lots
back
of money.
In which area?
No, if the television show runs for 6 or 7 years, it's frightening.
Yeah.
I remember I came on Gunsmoke in the 7th year, and Jim Arness didn't want to do the show. And John Wayne had got him drunk and made him sign his contract because they wanted Duke to play it. And I said, do you have any regrets? And he said, in 7 years, I've made more money than Duke has in an entire motion picture career. If you own half the show, and it's in syndication, and it runs 7 years, there's a lot of money.
More than in film.
More than in movies is. Because
glad
in
to hear
movies,
that.
we only get paid when they're on, and a residual. But
Right.
in television, if you have ownership, but the only way you can make money in our business is by owning something. You make money while you're sleeping, and that's the best way.
So I'm bound to lose quite a bit.
Travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. One pass lets you earn free travel faster than any other airline. That's the difference on Continental.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Tomorrow night, actress Lauren Holly, backward talker, David Fuhrer, and singer Maria McKee. And I'd like to thank very much again Burt Reynolds for coming. Thanks, Burt. And Dan Fogelberg is going to play us off. Dan, you and Artie, go ahead.
You to love, well, maybe so. There's still a lot of things you never know, like why each time the sky begins to snow, you cry. You're faithful to her in your careless way, so you miss her when she's far away. But every time you think you got it straight, you fall. You face the future with the weary past, those dreams you banked upon a fading fair. You know you love it, but it may not last. You fear it's never easy and it's never clear who's to navigate and who's to steer. And so you flounder drifting near the rocks.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Bellage, West Hollywood's deluxe all-suite hotel, combining sophistication and contemporary elegance. Bellage, a refuge from everything ordinary.
It's so hard to say, it's hard to walk away from love. It may never come again. Do your best to keep your end in play. Those lonesome blues at bay.